Start grinding out these units for their EZAs now. How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at the possible EZAs for the worldwide download celebration coming up in just about 3 days here on both Global and JP Dokkan. This is kind of just going to be off the cuff my thoughts on who the likely candidates are going to be for an EZA during this celebration. It's not a guaranteed list, and it certainly isn't an exhaustive list. It's just who I think is most likely and who I think you should start either grinding out super attacks, grinding out links, or leveling up, picking up their medals, whatever you need to do to have them ready for when that EZA drops. So let's go ahead and let's take a look here. We've got Future Saga pulled up as more than likely. Whatever EZAs during the celebration is probably going to be pulled from this category. I think it's very, very unlikely to see anyone outside of this category to EZA, but you never know. I mean, they EZA'd MVP 17 during Super 17 celebration. They don't even share a category aside from androids, which you don't want to run them on together anyways. So let's go ahead, let's jump on in. Let's start with the LR EZA. Looking at the list on Future Saga here, realistically there's only one option, right? There are on the super side of things, right, we've got this Future Trunks Prime Battle. He's already got his EZA. Vegito Blue's already got his EZA. Trunks and Mai got their EZA. Fizz Trunks has his EZA. Vegito Blue has his EZA. So, super side of things, there's only Future Gohan. Still too soon for his EZA. He's only like 2 years old. Vegeta and Trunks just came out last year, and this guy EZAs through Super Battle Road, so it'll be a minute before we get all of his medals to do that, right? Unless they suddenly drop like 20 stages. So that really only leaves the extreme side, and when we look at the extreme side, there really is only one option, right? We're on year 8, which makes this guy just over 3 years old. The only option for an LR EZA, if there is to be one during this celebration, is the LR Int Rose, Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black. Now, I believe he's a very likely candidate for 2 reasons. Number one, like I said, he's the only extreme Future Saga LR that we have. He's the only Future Saga LR we have that could possibly EZA. But also, the 5th year LRs just got their EZA during the anniversary, right? The Dokkan Fest one. So it's not out of the realm of the possibility for them to EZA their partners, right? Consider the 4th years have just EZA'd and last year, and within the year, both of their yellow coin LRs have EZA'd. So, you know, I don't think it's unlikely. I think it's a very high likelihood. As far as what they're gonna do with this guy, I mean, the sky's the limit with him, right? He doesn't have much. I imagine they'll probably give him greatly raising attack on his super attacks, right? Because he's already greatly raising defense no matter what he does. Maybe they'll give it to him for 6 turns instead of 1 turn, or maybe 3 turns. And I'm guessing, I mean, the guy has a glass cannon, right? Like, if you can actually get the key, he will hit some pretty funny numbers on his attack. So I doubt we'll see too much done with his attack. What we might see, right, is maybe, you know, a way to make his key rise more by possibly giving him extra bonus per key sphere obtained, kind of like how like Gohan and Piccolo work, right? They could also give him some defensive tech with that as well, because that's the main thing he needs. He needs some staying power on the field, because, you know, while big numbers are fun, if he can't take a hit after, it's not gonna matter, right? So I would imagine they'll probably give him some kind of buff defensively through his passive, but his passive is so basic that there's not much they there's not much they can mess up, right? The only concern is, right, he does have that final blow mechanic, which only affects his ki, right? It doesn't affect his attack or anything like that, so just consider that. Alright, so that's it. That's pretty much the only options we have for the LR EZA. Moving on to the TURs. Let's start with the big one, right? Not you. Where is it? Right here. Okay, so if the LR is to EZA, I think there's a good chance we could get an EZA for the TUR into Goku Black during this celebration. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Consider last year we got 2 cooler EZAs, right? We got the STR cooler and the AGL metal cooler, so it's not out of the realm of possibility to see this guy EZA along with the LR Goku Black as well, especially because he's one of the, at this point, I think that one of the oldest category TURs without an EZA, so I think it's a very high likelihood that we can see him. In fact, I think out of all of the possible candidates, I think he's the most likely candidate. Now, he is a greatly defensive stacker. That means he's going to 2 times defensive raise per turn. So realistically, they just need to give him some staying power turn 1, maybe even give him some attack raise, and he'll be solid, right? I mean, he gets attack every turn, so maybe he doesn't need it on his super. He just needs a little bit of extra defense when he starts out, right? Because when we look at his stats, right, look, that defense is horrible. Like, I mean, not even horrible, like horrible. Like, it's really bad. So even with the greatly stacking, he just doesn't have enough staying power. So he needs something to help him stick around to take advantage of his greatly stacking defense. And really, no matter what he does transforming, as long as he keeps the greatly stacking, maybe give him some attack per turn, that could work as well. But who knows? I do like that he is an extreme class key 3, so we could see them add like a 40% or maybe even a 50% like the STR Rose. But there's some stuff they can do, but I do think he's a very, very likely candidate. The next likely candidate, I wouldn't have said this before, but kind of more analyzing the celebration, I think in future Gohan's a pretty high likelihood, if not now, because they didn't EZA him in the Super Trunks celebration, which would have been the best. I mean, he realistically would have been the best EZA for that celebration for the Super Trunks, right? He gives Trunks everything he needs, plus, right, he's giving, plus he gets damage reduction, and support when you're bottom master and disciple, so they would be an amazing rotation together. So I mean, the simple fact that we didn't get his EZA leads me to believe that there's a chance he could EZA during this celebration. And also, right, we now know that the free-to-play card, at least one of them, is a Z era Trunks. So I think knowing that that card is a likely card, or is a card that will likely get an EZA as well, they'll probably instant EZA him like they do most free-to-plays. I think there's a good chance future Gohan could have an EZA this celebration. Now, like last year, a couple of the cards that EZA'd also got their banner units to EZA along with them, and I think because of that, I think there's a good chance this Tech Trunks could EZA along with the Gohan as well, because again, it would really help out any Trunkses that come during this celebration, but it'll also help out the Super Trunks who just came on JP and who will be coming in the coming months on Global. So he would actually be really good, right? Because while, you know, he won't link with the Trunks, but, you know, post-transformation on the Super Trunks, he'll link pretty good with him. And obviously giving support will be helpful. I imagine if they give him an EZA, they'll probably throw in some support for him since he is a banner unit. But we shall see. I do think they are likely candidates. Moving on, the next possible EZAs, I think we could see a sub-EZA for this Int Mai. Is a good chance she could get a sub EZA. I do think I feel like we're going to see quite a few sub EZAs, right? Because I fear that it may be a while before we revisit Future Saga specifically, so they might want to just knock them all out right here, right now, to help the team out, as it is a team that does need a bit of a push. Moving forward, the two big EZAs. These, I think, have less of a likelihood of happening. I mean, I want them to happen. I think it is a good choice for them to happen now, but I mean, they are Golden Week units, and I don't know if they're going to want to make a big to-do about these, but if there ever was a celebration where they were to EZA this Tech Trunks and AGL Zamos, I feel like now would be it. The only thing that puts my fear of this from happening is that because they are a Golden Week unit, I have noticed a trend. I can't say that, you know, this is a guarantee, but they like to EZA units with celebrations that they're tied to, right? Anniversary units will EZA during anniversary. And I think there's a good chance this might apply to these guys as well. It's maybe true, maybe not. It's just something I happen to have noticed, but they could be a good option for EZA, and there's a lot they could do with them. In his base form, he's not that great, but once he gets to Fusion Zamos and Mutated Fusion Zamos, you know, he's actually doing really good, right? Because not only is he debuffing the enemy, but he's also getting damage reduction, which, you know, compound that with the EZA stats, he could be looking really good. The Tech Trunks is an infinite defense stacker once he turns attack and defense, actually, once he turns Super Saiyan. So right, if they just kind of up this, like give one of them like a greatly raise, and then buff up a little bit, right, his attack and defense that he's getting each turn as he stacks, he's gonna be looking pretty good, right? This guy was introduced when the Fighting Legend Goku came out. He was basically the counter to the event because of his attack and defense stacking. Now, I do think they're good if they want to give him some staying power, because we don't have really big, long events like the Fighting Legend Goku, unless they're introducing something new with these new red zones. They're gonna need to give him a little bit more on that transformation, because his transformation happens no matter what, turn 2, right, on second appearance. So they're gonna have to give him something, and so I think, you know, obviously upping up his initial attack and defense, possibly even giving him something like a guard, while they bump up his attack and defense to like 20% at the start of each turn, just to give him a little more, right? And then maybe cap it a little higher, right? 80% is a little bit low for today's meta. Moving on, after these guys, I do think a sub EZA could be likely for the Gowasu and Zamos. This one's less likely, but if there is possibly a Vegito Blue, well, you know, no matter what, we're getting a Potara leader, so there's a good chance these guys could see an EZA, right? We're gonna get a Rose or a Zamos who will be on Potara, possibly even Vegito Blue. So these guys could possibly be a good fit in one of those Potara teams where there are good Realm of Gods characters on it. I could see them being, you know, maybe that they are giving a pretty decent support already, right? They're giving Kitu and 70% defense. They have a 50% chance of evading, right? So they up that to a great chance of evading. They can leave the 70% defense. That's pretty high, right? But then just give them extra evasion, basically, right? Maybe even bump up their base attack and defense, and then go from there. You know, maybe even give them the attack 200% or 150% when attacking a stream class. I think that could be good, but this one's a little less likely than some of the other picks, but I could definitely see it happening during this celebration. Now, we do have one character that has an EZA. Like all other Trunkses and Zamoses that are summonable are either, well, sub EZA ones, I should say, have already EZA'd. So I don't know what they're gonna do. If they don't do this guy now, along with the STR version as well, the STR Rage Trunks, I don't know when they're gonna do them. So they could be an option, but they hard to say. This guy could be good, right? He has damage reduction. He's getting attack and defense based on his HP boost. So there's some stuff they could do there. I want to say he's a likely candidate, but I feel like he might not be, right? Just because there are other hype options you could choose from for sub EZA. But hey, like I said earlier, they might just flood us with sub EZAs here because it may be a while before we revisit Future Saga. Now, there are two free-to-play options that I think could see an awakening and an EZA during this celebration, and that is this Super Saiyan Trunks Future. He awakens from the STR Trunks, this one here, which, by the way, they're using for the live stream thumbnail. This is that Trunks, so I could see them awakening and EZAing this guy, along with this Fizz Future Gohan. Both of these guys don't have awakenings in EZA, so I could definitely see them doing that for this celebration for either one of these characters, because one would help out any new Trunks unit that comes, right? Being that, you know, both Hybrid Saiyans, you know, the Trunks is going to share some links and some categories with him depending on the name of the new Trunks, so could definitely see these guys happening as a free-to-play EZA. We already know for sure the that new Trunks is going to get an EZA. That's how it always works with these new free-to-play cards that come out there in the big celebrations. They get these instant EZAs, so it's just a matter of who they want to pair along with them, and I think these two would be a good option just to help fill out some free-to-play Future Saga cards. So anyways, guys, like, I know we went over a lot. I know there's a lot of likely candidates I have, but you know, I just wanted to make sure you guys are all prepared to know who maybe you should start working on as we lead into these next 3 days before the start of the worldwide download celebration. So anyways, guys, that is the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and in the comments down below, let me know, who do you think is the most likely candidate for an EZA during this celebration? Again, my hands are on the Int Future Gohan and the Int Rose. I think they're the most likely, although I would like to see Tech Trunks and AGL Zamos get an EZA, but we shall see what happens when the time comes. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.